All right, welcome to our practice. Today's focus, like I've said, is preventing falls, as it's a little bit icy out where we are here. And our mental focus will be creating positive habits, or maybe letting go of some not so positive habits, if that's something that feels good for you for January, for those good old resolutions in January. Let's make our way into our easy seated pose. Close our eyes, relax the shoulders down from the ears, and settle into the breath, softening the jaw and letting go of your morning, anchoring to the earth through our feet today, through our backside as we sit down, noticing the gifts the earth gives us every day of the year, not just at Christmas, every day a gift. We'll start our warm up. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, bringing our hands back towards the earth. Inhale, reaching. Exhale, hands coming back down. We've got about 10 more of those. Just gonna find my music. Continue to flow a couple more times through that. Inhaling up, maybe we touch the thumbs together and then bring the hands back towards the earth, lengthening our spine. And if we're feeling a little anxious today, lengthening our exhales just a little bit longer than our inhales. Moving this to some flexion of the spine, left hand to the mat, we'll tip over, look under our right elbow, inhale, reach up, exhale, tip over to the other side. Start to notice how the sides of our bodies are feeling this morning. You can feel that stretch between our ribs and our hip. Each time we come to center, lengthening our spine and then tipping over. A gentle and peaceful bend to our back. Last one, we'll turn this into some twists, opening up, stretching our fingers, exhale, twisting over to one side. Inhale, opening and feeling that stretch, exhale, twist. Side to side, all on your own. Just check in with how that feels for your ribs. About 5 more on each side. Make sure there's no one stuck in our waiting room online. Good. Wonderful. A few more. We'll bring our hands back behind us now, opening up across our chest, stretching our hearts, our lungs. And we'll bring the hands to heart and a little bow forward. A few more. A habit is a recurring tendency or practice. So a good habit could be our yoga practice. We'll let go of negative or unwanted habits today that don't bring us a feeling of joy. Positive habits do take time, though, to establish. And we need to find a little bit of repetition to really get them to stick. One more. Amazing. Let's bring ourselves up nice and tall again, hands to our knees. We'll turn our chest towards our right knee and do some seated circles as we come up. We're reaching the heart forward and then around to the center and then all the way up, stirring up the base of our spine. See how the lower back is feeling. Our yoga practice today is focused on those positive habits. To create change, we must have a little bit or a lot bit of consistency. Let's stop up at the top on our inhale. Exhale, go the other way, reaching the heart around, thinking of lengthening the spine each time we come around, and then anchoring into the earth today. One way to really focus on our balance is to press equally into both of our feet. One more seated circle. And we rolling back onto our backs for some bridge flows. So we'll take ourselves back onto the mat, some space between our feet. Wonderful. Pressing into both of our feet, lifting up, and then back down. So flowing bridge to warm up. We've got no weight in our head this morning. Pressing into both of our feet, strengthening our back body. About 5 more of those. Inhaling as we come up, exhaling as we slowly lower our spine back down onto the mat, and then we peel it back up 1 vertebrae at a time. Let's hold it up here and do 10 pulses as we stay up, pressing into the feet. Imagine we're squeezing a ball maybe between our knees, stretching our hip flexors, strengthening our glutes, kind of a Pilates move. Slowly lower all the way down onto the mat. On an exhale and inhale, we'll bring it up and hold now for 10 breaths. Allowing our neck to be free from any weight whatsoever. Breathe, feel, listen, and let go of competition today. Slowly lower it back down onto the mat. Let's bring our knees towards our belly. Take a little rock side to side, massaging our back. Feel your lumbar spine pressing down into the mat. If you want to round your back up a bit and stretch and release the mid part of your back, you can. Wonderful. All right, back down. Fingertips come to our temples. We'll do some bicycles side to side, bringing the opposite knee over across to the shoulder, trying to keep our elbows wide. And then some modifications. We can stay with just the knee lifts today for taking care of our neck. Or we can move into an extension, keeping our shoulder blades both up off the mat the entire time and doing some reaches with the feet. So do what feels good for you. Moving 1 breath and 1 move. 1 breath, 1 move. Make sure this is on do not disturb. 1 or 2 more of those delicious flows to get our core ready to work. And we'll go back to our bridge, placing the soles of the feet down on the mat and lifting up, stretching our core, anchoring into our shoulder blades, our chin slightly tucked in towards our chest, and we're widening across the heart. Breathe, feel, and listen. Moving through our class today, thinking of a positive habit you might want to focus on that you'd like to incorporate into your life, or perhaps a negative one that you'd like to let go of. Slowly lower our backs back down. We'll draw those knees into chest, take a nice stretch, and then we'll be rolling over right to all fours with our faces back up towards me. A little bit of a roundabout circle to get back up here. We'll find some space between our fingers, spreading the weight and dispersing into both of our hands. If you want to try strengthening your fingers, letting some of the wrist work come out, you could even do some cup hands for your cat and cow. Exhaling cat, inhaling our cow. Our hands are right under our shoulders. And making any modifications that feel good for you in this moment. Creating a routine in our life takes practice, takes commitment. Taking it back to child's pose or moving into downward facing dog. We can have our head down on the mat for child's pose, or we're up in downward dog if that speaks more to us this morning. Pedaling our feet. And again, anchoring. Our elbow creases slightly either towards each other or towards more the front of our mat. Check in with how that feels for your shoulders. We'll inhale to all fours again, maybe readjusting to bring those hands back underneath, reaching our right arm forward and our left foot back, moving through our spinal balance. See how the balance is moving through as you go side to side, letting go of old habits. Even in our poses, sometimes we can be having some bad habits in our poses. Couple more. Last one, right back to our child's pose. Unless you would like to go up to downward dog, you can. Another option could be dolphin if you wanted to have your forearms down. So kind of an in-between pose of downward dog and child's pose. We can move into our dolphin. Anchoring into our forearms and our feet. Or we're in a nice gentle child's pose, breathing in and stretching our backs. All right, back to all fours. Great job. We'll keep our hips up above our shoulders, not our shoulders, our knees. Walk our hands slightly forward to puppy pose so they can go as far as you want. We bring the chest towards the mat. So we're drawing our shoulder blades together in the back. Anchoring into our knees. Amazing. All right, let's shift it onto a cobra pose. So come forward. Draw our hands more slightly underneath us. We can do our cup hands again, and thinking of, instead of pushing ourselves into the pose, lifting ourselves with our back muscles, lifting up and back down. Elbows in towards our rib cage. We'll do a few more lifts and down. Sliding the shoulder blades down the spine, lengthening the space between our ears and our shoulders. Couple more. Wonderful. Let's press our hands into the mat under our shoulders. We'll lift into a plank and back to child's pose or downward facing dog. Just check in again with what feels right for your body this morning. Maybe it's a more restful day. Dedicating this practice towards nurturing a mindset of breaking bad habits and finding motivation within themselves to initiate some positive change. Let's move on to our half series now. Inhale forward, kneeling plank, exhale right down to our bellies. We'll go into our cobra, choose where you want your hands to be, back down to the bellies. Then we push away, engage the core and slide back to child's pose. Add the breath, inhale forward. Exhale, slowly lowering. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, back to our belly. Inhale, lift. Exhale, sliding it back to child's pose. Moving mindfully through two more of those flows, forward and down. If it speaks to you to move through downward dog in a full plank, chaturanga, you can, or you'll stay here. Working our triceps. We might use our blocks today for a tricep dip. One more. Last. We'll finish this up, meet in our child's pose or downward facing dog. Whatever works for you. Let's inhale to all fours again and bring our left foot up between the hands. You might want to grab a block or two as we move into some lunges. So our blocks can be here, and we'll shift back into a hamstring stretch. And then come forward into a lunge. Hip flexor goes forward. And then the hamstring stretches as we turn our toe up. Flow between the two. Put your blocks wherever you want to. You could take your hands off your blocks and flow. We can close our eyes and flow. We'll be holding a lunge, so shifting it forward. Make sure that front foot hasn't come back. So we want it to be forward. And crescent lunge is one of our poses to prevent falls. Hands could be at our heart or here. We shift down and create a little bend in our back. Now we are anchoring through that front foot and feeling the connection to the earth. We're using our core to hold us steady, and the back foot as well, the top of that back foot and the knee, and anchor to the earth, creating points of contact and noticing them. We'll bring our hands back to our blocks and shift to the other foot. Right foot comes forward. Let's come forward into our hip flexor stretch. Oh, that feels so good. And then shift it back. I did a leg workout this week for the first time in about 25 years. So my legs are pretty sore. Oh, right. Oh. Yeah. I was just rocking through that workout. Oh, this is easy. This is easy. Until I tried to get back up the stairs from the basement. I'm like, oh, my legs are like jello. So we can modify with the blocks, or we can be lifting our arms up and down here. Think of that pelvis shifting forward and then reaching back. Last one. We'll be holding in our lunge position with or without our blocks. This left hip flexor stretching towards the mat, anchor and or create our crescent lunge in it. So the crescent part is your back from your fingertips down your spine to your foot. A little circle, a crescent moon. Making sure that we're anchoring and not allowing our knee to flop out to the sides. Nice and strong. Closing our eyes if it feels okay. We'll bring our hands back to our blocks or the earth, tuck our back toes onto the mat and push to forward fold, exhaling. Letting the head be heavy, and we'll flow through our halfway lift. Inhaling halfway up, exhaling down. Blocks can be used here as we come up and down, or something fun, bringing the hands behind the knees. We come up and down, making sure there's a little bend in our knees. Amazing. Let's make our way to chair pose, bending the knees, lifting the heart. This is another one of the poses to help prevent falls as we anchor to the earth, engage the core, and notice the connection and those 2 points down into the mat. Our toes for balance, our heels to create strength. Breathe. We'll flow between chair now and forward fold on an exhale. Inhaling to chair and exhaling to fold. Practicing our routine today. Maybe adding in and reminding ourselves that to create change, we have to be consistent. And that can take time, and that's okay. Last one. Chair pose, we hold on an exhale, and then an inhale, sweep all the way up. Let's bring ourselves into mountain pose. Take our right ear towards our right shoulder, press our left hand away. And you could put a little weight on your head if you want to, only if it feels good, but let's still focus on pressing into both of our feet. I'll release other side, so we're pushing. And then the neck stretch here with or without the weight of our hand, or just gravity bringing our ear closer to our shoulder. And let's release that one. Bring our head up, step our left foot back. We'll turn into our moonflowers and our sunflowers to warm up more the outsides of our hips. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, bend our elbows and bend our knees. Anchoring to the earth. Take a moment to notice the air on your skin as your hands or your arms move through it. We can turn this into a sunflower. We bend the knees, reach to the mat. Inhale, reach up. Flowing through. Maintaining a nice long spine. Whenever we're reaching up, we're pressing into our feet. Few more, get that blood moving. Wonderful. We'll meet in a goddess pose. So those feet are out still. And then turn our toes towards more the long edge of your mat. We'll shift to one side and lift a heel. So we're in a side lunge. Other side. Shift, lift that toe up maybe. Breathe. Make sure there's still a little bend in that extended knee. Back to goddess. So now our toes go out just a little bit and we bend our knees. We can bring our hands up if that feels nice. Anchor to the feet. Feel the earth beneath you. Throughout your whole day today, notice it beneath your foot as you step, make connection. Straightening our legs, turning those toes again towards the long edge and now into a wide leg forward fold with or without your block, whatever works for you. You can have your block underneath you for your head, your forearms. You can be reaching your block back behind you. Anyone working on arm balances, fingertips face the same way as your toes. We slide our arms back, even take that block between your forearms, slide it back. We can take a little bit of that weight forward, but be really careful. Just that shift into the support of the shoulders instead of all in the foot. Creating strength in our shoulders with this block. All right, we'll take that block out, put it somewhere else. Let's tick-tock our feet together, point them back up towards the short edge of our mat. Forward fold. We'll bend our right knee, bring our right hand to the floor or the mat, and reach the left arm up. Oh, thank you, Carolyn. It is hot in here today. We're here for about 5 more breaths, a nice big stretch. Go on, let me crank that up. Yeah, you did it. You did it correctly. I'm just going to put it on even higher. All right, we'll bring that hand down, bend the other knee, and reach the opposite arm up. Breathe, feel, make sure to modify. And release that one back down, halfway lift, breathe in. Fold, breathe out. Inhale, sweep it all the way up. Grab our right wrist, tip over. Anchor to our feet again. Back up over to the other side. Wonderful. Hands will come behind us. Now we'll open up across the chest. Can close our eyes if that feels nice, or forward fold. So do what feels, again, right for you. We'll release the hands to the shins again, halfway lift, breathe in. Fold, breathe out, sweep all the way up, breathe in. Exhale to our mountain. All right, time for sun salutations. If you're gonna use your blocks, they'll be up at the top. Find a good song. Oh, no. Find a good Christmas song. All right, up to the tops of our mats. Find some space between our feet. Anchor to our mountain pose. Big breath up, inhaling. Exhale, dive it into your fold. That whole exhale to slowly come down. Inhale, halfway lift. Fold, exhale. Bend the knees, left foot goes back, knee up or down. If it's down, try adding in a crescent lunge today. If it's up, you can add a little back bend. Child's pose or downward facing dog. Or we can hold or flow into our plank, full or kneeling, halfway or all the way. Our up dog, maybe a gentle cobra, either downward facing dog or belly, and then child's pose. Bringing the right foot up between the hands. Full or kneeling lunge. We can add a little back bend if that feels nice. Exhale, forward folding. Anchor through our front foot. Halfway lift, breathe in. Fold, breathe out. Amazing job. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, shift into a chair. Inhale, back up. Exhale to our mountain pose. Let's do it again. Inhale, sweep to the sun. Exhale, dive towards the earth. Halfway lift, strong back, lifting you up. Belly button to spine, fold again. Our right foot lunging back. Full or kneeling lunge, we rise up. Exhale, the child's pose or downward dog, or just go at your own pace. Holding or flowing, forward, down, opening the heart, taking the heart back to the earth, and then lifting into child's pose or down dog, left foot between the hands, take your time. Rise to your lunge or a crescent lunge. Exhale to fold, push off your back foot, anchor through your front foot. Halfway lift. Fold again, exhaling. Inhale, sweeping up, anchoring to both feet. Exhale to chair. Back up, breathe in. Great job, everybody. Exhale to mountain. Wonderful. Let's do a couple more. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, dive into your fold. Halfway lift, feel those shoulders roll away from the ears. Exhale, fold. Bending our knees, left foot back. Rise to your lunge with or without a little bend. Exhale to downward dog or child's pose. Resting or flowing forward. All the way or halfway. Moving into cobra. And then back to downward dog or child's pose. Right foot lunges up between the hands. Take your time. Inhale to a nice strong lunge. Strong front foot. Exhale, push to forward fold. Halfway lift, breathe in. Fold, breathe out. Inhale to chair. All the way up. I'm so sorry. Exhale to chair. Back up, breathe in. Exhale to our mountain. We've got two more, maybe three. Inhale, sweep. Exhale, dive. Halfway lift. Fold again. Taking the right foot back. Finding your lunge. Choose your arms. Choose your inhale. Exhale to down dog or child's pose. Holding, my friends, or flowing forward. Up dog or our cobra. Downward dog. Left foot up between the hands. Check out where you're going to place it and then rise up as you anchor into both of your feet. Exhale, fold. Halfway lift, breathe in. Fold, breathe out. Inhale all the way up. Maybe our thumbs touch as we reach. Exhale, palms come together in our chair. Back up, breathing in. Exhaling to our mountain pose. One more. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, dive. So you can go on your own or stay with me. Halfway lift. Folding. Left foot back. Find your version of your lunge today for your body. Downward dog or child's pose. Choosing to rest, or we'll flow forward, down, opening up, meeting in downward dog or child's pose. Bringing your right foot up between the hands. Rise to your lunge. Exhale, pushing to forward fold. Take your time. Halfway lift, breathe in. Fold, breathe out. Inhale, sweep all the way up. Routine takes consistency. Exhale to our chair. Back up, breathe in. Exhale to mountain. All right, great job. Roll the hands around. Let's take some movements with our wrists. Time to move on. So chair pose is one of our big poses to create stability for balance and preventing falls. We'll have a few variations. So chair and bear and albatross, and some different variations for your feet. All right, turn that music down. Let's bend our knees. We've got some space between our feet for this first one, a strong foundation. We bend and just bring our hands here. You could always, of course, use a block if you wanted to keep your knees from going out to the sides. Pressing into our entire foot. Make connection with all 10 toes, the balls of the foot, the heels of the foot. Maybe the instep draws up just a little bit, lengthening our necks. Breathe. We can keep our hands right at our heart today, or reach them forward, or reach them up. Biceps come somewhere around our ears, like you're trying to pass somebody a big ball. We'll take a forward fold before we go again. You can leave your block there if that feels nice. Let the head hang and be heavy. Right back up to our chair pose. Choose your arms before we move on. Exhale, this time reaching our arms long, lengthening our neck, feeling the strength of your legs. Strengthening our quads helps protect our knees. Oh, forward fold. Yeah, feeling that today. Back up to chair. This time, if it feels okay, lifting the heels. Wherever you want your arms, they can still remain down, or hands at heart. Heels go down, forward fold. We've got one more for chair before we move on. We'll come back up to our chair. This time lifting our toes up. So shifting the weight into our heels. You'll feel your glutes engage a little more. Check in with your low back, your core. Fold. Woo. I feel it. Right on. All right, we'll take our block out. Step or jump back to plank pose. Breathe, feel, and listen. Check in with your elbows. So maybe the creases of your elbows facing each other, or facing more the front of your mat to rotate. Our shoulder blades come in to hug the spine. We're drawing energy up from the earth. Breathe. Taking our knees down, let's bring our right foot up between the hands for our crescent lunge again. So we shift our left hip flexor forward and we'll rise up into our crescent lunge. So modifications are things you could have fun with here. You can bring your right hand to your right knee and reach your left hand back towards your foot. Sink it down. All right, we'll bring that chest back forward, tuck our back toes onto the mat, push to forward fold. Let the head hang again. We'll bend our knees this time, keeping our belly right on our thighs. For bear pose, reaching our arms forward, maybe clasping our hands together. Breathe and feel that connection to the earth. Anchoring, creating change today through consistency and focusing on our alignment. Forward fold, exhale. Whew. Let's take that left, or pardon me, the right foot back this time. Drop the knee down. And we'll rise up into our crescent lunge on this side. Or you can bring your left hand to your right knee, maybe walk, left hand, left knee, and reach back for that back ankle. Even just gazing back at it. And we'll bring it forward to child's pose. Take that feet back. Find a little stretch for our quads here. Massaging our foreheads down on the mat. Be lifting our bellies up off of our thighs, but still keeping our backside towards our heels for hero. So if this doesn't feel nice for your knees, you could put a towel back here behind your knees or take a seat on your block, however you want to. All right, let's stretch our quads, bring our fingertips back to point towards our toes, all the way back. So you could stay up with me or move onto your forearms back there. Check in with some blocks. Maybe we come down a little bit, maybe just one side. Oh, that's pretty intense hero pose. Be nice to your knees if this doesn't feel good. All right, let's push it back up. Not too long there. All fours, downward dog. Stretch the backs of our legs now. Let's pedal out our down dog, and then we're going to hold our downward facing dog today. Settling into our down dog, pressing the earth away with our hands, our hips reaching towards the sky. A bend in our knees. It can be a big bend or a little bend, but there is a bend. Opening our chest up towards our knees. Breathe. Let's take our right hand towards our left calf. Look underneath our left elbow or armpit. Still trying to press into both of our feet. And the other side, reaching across. So modifications, you're down on your knees, reaching across, or even going into a thread the needle as an option. We'll come back to our regular downward facing dog. Hop, step, or jump up between the hands. Halfway lift, breathe in. Fold, breathe out. Chair pose, breathe in. Exhale up into our mountain. All right, our tree pose as part of our focus on preventing falls. So you could have a block underneath your supporting leg if you want to really focus on balance, or it's used for your foot. So let's take the weight into the left foot and our right foot will go out. We'll turn that heel in and find your tree. It could be on your ankle, the floor, your calf, somewhere up above your knee. And we'll reach up. Or we can have our hands out for balance. Bending, not breaking, like a tree. being strong and flexible at the same time. Drawing up from the earth or rooting down while the crown of the head rises. And really notice that foot connecting down. And we'll release. Let's do the other side. Bring our arms down. And the left foot will go out. We'll turn that heel in to open up our knee. We'll soften up this right knee and find what feels good for you today. Either hands at heart or we rise up. Rooting down to rise. Eyes open or closed. Breathe. Wide across our collarbones. Steady, stable, using our breath to anchor us to the earth. And release. Wonderful job. Roll those shoulders around. Big breath up, inhale. Exhale, dive into our fold. That was a long standing practice, ladies. Let's make our way down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold again. Step or jumping back to plank, full or kneeling. Breathe. You can be down on your forearms if that feels better in your planks. Check in with those elbows again today. Our quadriceps are engaged, hugging our kneecaps. All right, let's bring it down to the knees and move back to our puppy pose. So walking our hands forward and shifting our chest towards the mat. Some modifications for that if you wanted to increase the intensity. Blocks will go under your forearms or your elbows. And you'll bring your hands back behind your head. Very nice pose for posture as it stretches the front of our body. One of my faves. I could stay here for 10 minutes. All right, let's take it back to child's pose. Take your time. Moving back there, you could bring your hands back towards your heels now if you wanted to. Finding a little more space across the lower or the upper back. Wonderful. All right, let's make our way to a boat pose. So coming forward, shifting down onto our hips. So you've got your block today. Maybe you have one block, maybe you have two. I wonder if we can do it with one. No, not really, but we'll do some tricep dips anyways. This is a really good compound exercise that you can do. So our fingertips are going to face towards our backside. We're opening up across our chest. If you want to, your feet are up. And then we lean back, touch our elbows down, and then push them back up. So some tricep dips. If you're like me, check in. Maybe one arm's doing all the work. So bending. You could take your legs straight in a pike as you're down, and then bend and come up into more of a crunch. So we go down and crunch up. I think it was Stella asking me about some work for the backs of our arms last night. So you can thank her for this workout. Last one, and we'll come up into boat. Give our arms a break, either reach them long or bring them under our thighs. Wide across the heart. Your feet could be up or down. If it feels better for your hip flexors, they're down. One block will come between our our knees. We'll draw our feet in a little bit, fingertips towards the backside. We'll lift up into our tabletop. Focusing on that anchor today through both of our feet. And the noticing of opening the chest up towards the sky. Strengthening the whole back of our body whilst we stretch the front. Strengthening and stretching. Bring it down. Take that block out, or you can keep it there. Actually, no, because we'll do forward fold. Hit your nose. Big breath up. If you'd like to today, you'll grab your right wrist first and bring it around your right foot, or just reach. So a nice wrist stretch. Let me sink here. I have short legs, so this and long arms. So depends on your body type. Amazing. Couple more breaths. So we hold these poses a little bit longer when we're nice and warm at the end of our practice. That's when the deep stretches come. Walk it back up. Big breath. We'll grab our opposite hand, create some space in the wrist, and work towards wrapping that around our foot, or just holding onto our foot or our calf. Feeling any resistance, and then breathing through it. Never harming our bodies. Creating change with consistency and routine. Let's walk it back again. Time for our bridge pose down on the mat. So we'll come forward on our mats a little bit and make sure you've got some space to roll back. So restorative bridge is an option, or no block under your low back. So we lift it up, choose that block either under the lower back or even between your knees, somewhere where you can still focus on pressing and anchoring to the earth, noticing it beneath your body. Settle in. You can prop your block up more or less. Feel a widening across the heart, our head, free from any weight. Breathing freely. And having compassion today for our bodies and for others that we might see out in the world today. We're here for about 10 more breaths. So if you're not in a restorative bridge with the block, you'll want to come down, take a little break, and then come back up. Or you can enjoy our restorative bridge. Moving into our legs up a wall. Now reaching the feet up towards the sky. Modifying if we need to with our blocks, taking the block out if it doesn't feel good. Imagine now anchoring the feet to the sky. In our legs up a wall today, let's do some points and flex with our feet just to lubricate our ankle joints so they're ready for our day out on the, if we are walking around today here in Sault Ste. Marie, there's lots of ice. Also, we'll point and flex, maybe do some circles with your ankles. Alrighty then. Back to our legs up a wall. Let's bend our knees. Maybe the soles of the feet go to the mat to lift that block up from underneath us as we press in, lift our hips. We're going into supine tree, our right foot lengthening, and then the left sole of the foot coming into your knee somewhere, or the inside of your other leg for a tree, lying down, wherever you want your hands, at heart or reaching up, or in cactus arms can feel nice across the chest. There for about 10 or 15. Stretching our inner thigh, our outer hip. And we'll draw that left knee back up towards the ceiling and then all the way across for a spinal twist. You could put a block underneath your knee if that feels nice for you. As you make it around, as you anchor into the earth with your shoulder blades, or straightening of that leg if you'd like to. Stretching your IT band. That can help with our balance as well. Wonderful. We'll come back to center, extend the left leg now, moving into our tree on the other side. So bending our right knee and then letting that knee go out to the side, the sole of the right foot somewhere on your leg. And choosing your arms. Cactus arms can feel nice. If you feel as if maybe your mind is wandering away at this point, you could bring it back to breath, placing your hands on your belly or your rib cage and giving your full attention to your breathing. Moving to our twist, so drawing the knee back towards the sky and then all the way over, just guiding it gently across to the other side. Or you can keep that knee bent or extend it long for your spinal twist, maybe with an IT band stretch. And when you're ready, if there's another pose that you wanted to add in before we move on to the few minutes of Shavasana, you can, or you'll make your way into your Shavasana or maybe another pose that you really liked during our practice. And we come into anything that feels nice for the last few minutes. And settle in to your Shavasana. Take your time. All right. Make our way into our Shavasana pose if we're not already there. A time to let go. Our muscles, our bones have worked hard to support our practice today. Let's give them some rest. Feel the weight of your body gently melting down into the support of the mat. Today's practice focused on 5 poses to let go or to prevent falls. Our mental shift came to positive habits. Or releasing negative ones. Softening our jaws, our chest, our bellies, our thighs, our knees, our shins and calves and ankles, the soles of our feet, our toes. As we breathe in, feel the energy, the prana, the life force drawing up through the soles of your feet like a wave, right up to your head, to your heart, and then exhale, let that wave again exit the body through the feet. Inhale, drawing up that energy, that life force. Exhaling, letting go of tension. Our feet, a connection to the world. Using them to anchor and to help us stay stable today. Walking mindfully on the earth. Peaceful steps. Every step you take, a greeting to Mother Earth. And we're here for a couple more moments. Settle in. So before we come fully out of our practice or our pose today, a couple quotes about habits and how to encourage them. We are addicted to our thoughts. We cannot change anything if we cannot change our thinking. That was by Santosh Kalwar. You'll never change your life unless you change something you do daily. The secret to your success is found in your daily routine. John C. Maxwell. All right, let's bring ourselves out. Maybe notice the light of the room again, the air in the body and on the skin, the feet, the toes, the ankles, taking us out into our day today. Give them a little extra wiggle, a little extra movement to make sure they're feeling healthy. Moving our head side to side, our wrists, opening and closing our fingers a few times. Stretching from our fingertips right to our toes. Feel the length of the front body increasing. And you can take your time to roll over onto one side, no rush whatsoever. And make your way up into an easy seated position, either crisscross on your bolster, off your bolster, something that feels nice. Let's inhale today, reaching up to the sun. Exhale, drawing our hands to our heart. So our intentions today to create positive habits in our life. Another big breath in and draw that into your heart here. One more breath of whatever you may need today, strength, courage, patience. And we'll take a gentle bow towards the earth, grateful for all the gifts. Namaste. Enjoy your Wednesday. Walk peacefully on the earth, very safely and gently. Or one of the clients in the next class, Susan, she said, walk like a penguin. That helps. Have a good day, Lee. Have a good